Are you really gonna waste another summer? Because I certainly am not. Hello, my name is Julian. I'm a young guy, just like probably you, and I am on a quest right now to search for fulfillment, for purpose in the things that I do. And this video is not going to be some guru talky, do this, do that video. This is simply a projection of my plan going forward on how I'm going to fix myself. And the reason as to why I want to make this video is so that I can document my journey going forward and show the person behind the camera, the one who's watching this, the beautiful, beautiful soul, that even if it is hard right now, even with all the conditioning out there, even with the laziness that you're enduring currently within yourself, or the mental fortitude that you lack, that through me, through my journey, you're going to see that it is possible to recondition and re-implement your brain with new principles and become a better individual. And it's really, really easy. And well, it's not really easy. I'm going to find out if it's easy or if it's really tough, but I'm basically going to share to you how I'm going to do that. And it's going to be a little bit goofy. It's going to be a little bit corny, but for me right now, I think it's something that is really going to help. And I am here to give you a basic perspective of what that's going to be like. But a part of this video is the question of, are you really going to waste another summer? I want this video to still provide you with value, and I don't want to waste your time. And as my first video, and more or less my intro video to this channel, I still want to give you a little bit of insight into that. So to get started, I've basically been pondering that question now for a couple of months. And I've been thinking to myself, like, am I going to be wasting another summer? It's the middle of June already, and my birthday's in a week. I'm going to be turning 20 years old. I've already taken my gap year, and I've still held this arrogance inside of like, okay, I'm going to take a gap year. Well, everybody else goes to college. I'm going to take a gap year to work on a business. I'm going to, get certified in personal training. I'm going to, earn 10K a month. I'm going to buy a house, establish a great relationship. All these far-reaching goals that have been kind of pushed onto me by other individuals. And though I probably would be able to do that, like many of you could, get 10K a month, start selling something, fix somebody else's problem, that mentality, I discovered that none of that was scratching the itch that I was looking for currently. I still want to do all those things, but right now, the itch that needs to be scratched, the thing that I am looking for to warm my soul, is actual fulfillment, is actual purpose, to feel like a man. And I'll get into that. So I'm going to basically tell you a personal experience, a story, to give you insight into how this came about and how my path forward is going to change because of it. So I graduated not too long ago, but like I said, I took a gap year, and I'm sure many of you are currently taking gap years too. But going back to my high school years, the 4 years that I spent in high school from freshman year to senior year, I was a very delicate individual. I was a lot different, and throughout the course of my journey, the videos I'll post every single day, you'll probably see what I'm talking about. I had a lot longer hair. I was not as well put together. I had a very fragile mind, a very fragile ego as well, and I was incredibly docile and more feminine than I would like. And a lot of that has left to me now. I've changed a good portion of that because of, actually spending some time. And last summer I spent a lot of time actually working on this, and I got a new group of friends. I found a group of good brothers that help and support me, and I've actually implemented some self-improvement and developed some skills of my own. And that has definitely helped me get out of this mindset and released some of the conditioning put onto me from society. but I still have remnants. I still have a lingering of that thing within me. And I don't quite feel like I've gotten to the point where I can say with certainty, okay, now I feel like a man. I feel on the inside, I feel like a man. Like I own the mantle of manhood. And I guess I didn't know it at the time, but that's the thing I was really looking for. And so going into the story, it's senior year. We're at graduation. And I'm sitting there, I just got my diploma and everything like that. I'm sitting down and, you know, my buddies and I were all like, oh, you know, this is all fun. Just got our diplomas. And we see a speaker come up on the stage. It's one of my classmates. And I know this classmate a little bit. He's an overachiever, you know, he's in 25 different sports and he's an honor student, whatever. I'm watching him talk, and as he's talking about all his accomplishments, all the nights that he stayed up late, the dedication he put into it, you know, the getting whatever score on his ACT, and the thing that he wants to go to college for, the thing that he wants to pursue to get his fulfillment. And he said it with such jubilee. And I kind of entered into a trance where I sat there and I was visualizing myself in his same position, giving this speech to the people that I've been in school with for the past 12 years. And all of the parents and cousins and siblings that are in the stands watching. And so as I'm visualizing myself doing this, I get up on the stage and I get to the mic in my visualization. I say into the mic, you know what I want to be? What I want to do? I want to be a man. I want to be a man. I don't want other people to insinuate that. I want to feel it. I want to be a man. I want to feel an aura, a presence from myself. Like when I enter into a room, people feel safe, they feel secure, they feel like I have the skills, the competence, the know-how. They can feel the masculine presence, the energy radiating off of me. I want to have an established group of brothers, of friends who are loyal and who I can trust and who can trust me, and who push each other and challenge each other every single day. Where we all wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to go on a run, to work on businesses, to put our minds together to accomplish something greater, to build a utopia of this world, and to pursue our purposes in every sense of the word. That's what I wanted. And I wanted a fantastic relationship with my partner, with my girlfriend. See, that's what I wanted. And that's, in that visualization, that's what I said. And it was at that moment in time, when things just clicked. It's like this ambition inside of me just came out where, you know when you get heavily motivated by something, you watch a David Goggins video or some video, and you just get heavily motivated to do something, to go on a run, to get your life in order or whatever, right? It was like that, and I was just itching to get out of my seat. I didn't want to be at my graduation ceremony any longer. I didn't care about it. I didn't even want to go to it. And so once it was done and we're going to go take pictures and do whatever else, I'm like, okay, I want to get out of here. So I tell my family we're leaving. And so I go home and whatnot, and you know, I say goodbye to my girlfriend and all this stuff, and I go home and I just sit there in my room. I sit there in my room in the damp stillness, and it kind of hits me. It kind of hits me that I've been going about things so nonchalantly, like this body that I've been given, this fortunate position that I'm in. I am in the most beautiful, I have the most beautiful opportunity of all existence. No other animal, insect, anything on this planet can grow, consciously like I can. And that struck me hard, to think that time is not a burden, but it is a gift. Something that on the inside I can use. I can level up in this world, literally. And I don't mean that in a metaphorical manner. I mean, I can literally level up my willpower. I can level up my health. I can level up my mental clarity. I can level up my strength. I can build a fantastic physique and a fantastic body. And it just excites me to even say those words, because it feels so tangible. It feels so real to me. And so that was the realization that I had. That was the big one that I had. And basically, after that point, after high school, obviously I didn't go to college. I didn't pursue any trade. I didn't do anything like that. I used the time that I had to kind of figure myself out. And well, I had that thing like, okay, well, I want to be a man. I want to pursue masculine virtue. I want to pursue purpose in its best possible way. And I want to do all this stuff. Well, now I have to actually apply that. And we all say those things like, okay, I want to do this, but our body and our mind does not move with it. It lags behind. And so I've spent the better of 8 months to a year and a bit to figuring this out. And I kind of burnt myself out. I just ended up every single day just waking up feeling dreadful, mentally masturbating to the thought of, okay, purpose, how am I going to pursue it today? What's the best possible way to do it? How can I do this in the best possible way? Instead of actually just finding and mastering the basics realistically. Thinking that I need to eat the whole entire bowl of meat as quickly as I possibly can, instead of first starting with the milk and going at things from a basic level. And it's not like I'm new to necessarily improving myself. I've put a little bit of effort into that. I was always kind of a philosophically virtue-driven individual, so I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything that I deem is going to negatively impact my body necessarily. And I dabbled around with diets for a while. I did keto for 4 years, and so I'm not trying to list out my accomplishments to impress you. I'm just saying that I'm not necessarily new in this regard, but earlier this week, earlier this month, I felt humbled. I felt humbled because, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to be turning 20 soon. In a week, I'll be 20. And I took my gap year, and I feel dissatisfied. I have a dissatisfaction. And, I mean, real talk, I feel like I failed. I feel like I've failed myself. I don't feel like I failed anybody else necessarily, but I feel like I failed myself, because the amount of days that I can count where I've just woken up and waited until 10, 12, 2 in the afternoon to start doing my day, start reading a book, start actually pursuing my purpose, my passion, the thing that's going to fulfill me. And I guess I didn't realize it, that I have this idea in my mind, but maybe I don't know how to execute on that. And you are probably struggling with the same thing. You find yourself either wasting the summer away, or wasting your days away, or you're preparing not to. And I guess this brings me into basically my plan for all of this. And my plan for all of this is to be an adventurer in this regard. I discovered that it's not a flaw in purpose. There's no flaw in the purpose that I want. It's not a misdirection of, values or anything like that. It's that I'm freaking fried. My brain, my dopamine circuits are fried from brain rot, from, TikTok brain, from bad attention span, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-control. Like I said in the beginning, I got rid of a lot of that intertwining negative rhythm on the inside, the ultra weak, feminine, kind of just submissive and docile brain. And I could go way more into that, and maybe I will in the future, but for now I'll keep it pretty short. But I didn't do anything about that on the inside. I put a band-aid over it and called it good and just kept on plowing through everything. I didn't actually stitch up that wound, clean it, do everything to it to make it better. And so I had that realization lately that, I need to restart and go back to level 1. Furthermore, back to level 0. I can't be walking around with an arrogance and a pride that, okay, it's just going to come to me. I just need the right idea and everything needs to work out. No, I need to design my life. I need to play it like it's a literal game and start at the tutorial mission and move my way through and do challenges, challenge myself, especially if I'm not going to be going out anywhere and doing anything. And so that brings me to this. What you're seeing in front of you right now, this is a journal with 365 pages. Now, I bought this off of Amazon. I can try linking it in the description for you if you wanted to get the same one as me. I believe it was like less than 20 bucks. I went to Barnes & Noble before and way too expensive. But this is a journal. It's just got lined paper or boxed paper. I don't know what you want to call that necessarily. I don't know if you can see that. But this journal is the start to my journey, basically. And the journey starts with the basics, like I said. But I'm usually a person that likes to put a little bit of a twist onto stuff. And I'm not trying to be weird with it. But to me, I see life as a quest in a way. I see it as a challenge. And I see it as I see my purpose as to challenge life. And so I decided for 365 days, I'm going to write out all the things that I tell myself every morning that I should do throughout my day. All the habits, all the actions, what I'm feeling like, and I'm actually going to do them. Because, being honest, how many of us who are quote unquote on self-improvement, who are on, rebuilding ourselves or whatever you want to call it, how many of us have 10 things that we do throughout the day or that we want to do throughout the day? We say we need to meditate, we say we need to shower, take a cold shower, journal, we say we need to do all these things, work out consistently, whatever else. How many of us say that we do those things, but we only get to 3 of them? We only get to 2 of them. Maybe we don't get to any of them. Or when we do get to them, we say, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna meditate, or I really need to pray, or I need to read, Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. I want to be more disciplined, that kind of mentality. We end up meditating for less than a minute, not even. We get one breath in and we're bored, and then our phone is right there and we pick that thing up and we text whoever, or we scroll on TikTok or something like that. We take a shower, but we spin that bitch to warm or hot or something like that, and we're like, okay, tomorrow I'll take a cold shower. And then we feel guilty because we didn't take we took a hot one instead of a cold one, and then we feel like a weak man. I can go on and on and on. The problem is, I think we keep that in our heads. At least that's the problem for me, is I keep it all in my head. I can't account like that. And I was so arrogant in my thinking to think that, okay, yeah, it's, I can just account for it in my head. But I can't. And I want to put meaning to this. So, I don't know if you can see that really well. Oh, you probably can't. Well, I'll just read it to you. This is basically day one. What I have here is what I like to call my daily quests. Now, you can call it any name you want. I could call this my daily habits, my to-do list, whatever. It's completely amorphous. I like the term quest because it makes it more fun. And, you know, I have been a gamer in the past, so I like to do things that are a little bit more not unconventional. And so what I have here is 3 categories, and these are the 3 categories that I want to work on. The first is mental, the second is physical, and the third is spiritual, and each one has their own daily quest. Now, you can kind of imagine that if I say it's a daily quest, it's usually something that I repeat over every single day, and you would be right. So under mental, the 3 things I have listed right now are meditate for 10 minutes, journal for 10 minutes, and read 25 pages of a book. Obviously, it's not going to be like a fantasy book. It's going to be, you know, something that is actually going to help me gain a skill. And you might be sitting there thinking, oh, meditate for only 10 minutes, journal for only 10 minutes, and only read 25 pages? Julian, you can only read 25 pages of a book? Well, like I said, my attention span is fried. So, yeah, it can get hard sometimes to read 25 pages of a book. It can get hard to read for 30 minutes before I have to put the book down and grab my phone. Anything like that. And I know a lot of you are probably going to be humbled in that regard if you do the same thing. For physical quests, I have 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 100 ab crunches, eat in a calorie deficit of 1,800 calories. I'm on a cut right now, so I actually want to hit my macros. And I'll probably end up like showing you guys my actual, I use Chronometer, so like my daily macro intake. 200 grams of protein. And this is going to sound weird, but shower, brush teeth, clean face, make my bed, do my laundry. If you guys were to go into my room right now and you were to look at my bed, it is a mess. My sheets are everywhere. It's not no discipline at all in that regard. And I tell you, every single morning I get up, I say to myself, I should make my bed. And then I don't do it because I am too lazy. My attention span is fried. I'd rather go downstairs and do literally nothing but sit on my phone. For spiritual, this is a category that I really do want to expand on because I've been trying to connect more with the divine source lately. And in order to do that, I think these three things are very important, and this is probably the category in which I've been the most productive in. So I have pray, read scripture, 10 pages, and a kind of different one under spiritual is bond. And what I mean by bond is sit down with either my family or my girlfriend and have a bond spiritually, talk about deep subjects, have deep conversations about things, and, you know, embrace each other in our love. And to me, all of this, the accomplishment at the end, the reward, is the fulfillment of my purpose, of feeling like I'm a man, of achieving manhood, becoming a kind, charismatic, gentle, well-rounded character who's strong both physically, both mentally, and certainly spiritually. And throughout the course of 365 days and 365 videos, you are going to see this traumatic transformation from the man I am right now, the one speaking to you, to the one I am going to be from a year from now. And I'll be saying, hopefully, in this exact same spot. And you'll be able to see the difference. And I want that anybody who clicks on my channel and decides to watch it, is able to basically see that just in a year, with using something as simple as a quest log or a to-do list of the things that they want to do throughout the day, that they can achieve the thing that they want. And oh, I forgot to mention, I also, to kind of really gamify it and make it even more of a challenge, I made a daily challenge quest. Now, this might change from time to time, like this whole entire setup might be different, but I want to have challenge quests or weekly or monthly quests that really push me and that I can train for. And so the challenge quest that I have today is do all of my daily tasks or my daily quests. And I have a difficulty under there. So I have unknown because, well, I don't know how challenging it's going to be right now, but maybe tomorrow's challenge quest will be read 50 pages, and that difficulty might be medium or hard or challenging or hell on earth, I don't know. So, and what that's going to do is it's really going to put a obstacle in my way that I am forced to solve. And so I thought about this kind of extensively, that I can basically do this and it will compound over time. My daily quests will compound over time as well. I'll progressively overload these things, my tasks to do, and it will help me to, like I said, level up, because that's what the whole entire point of this channel is watching me go from level 0 to level 100 on everything and becoming a fervently masculine man with great charisma and skills, accomplishment, and competence. And so maybe for a monthly quest, I'll run a marathon. We can have some back and forth with that. You can give me some ideas as well. But I think that would be very, very entertaining, and it'll get me out of my comfort zone. I'm an introvert, and I've started to think that people who say that they're introverted, it literally just means that they are embarrassed in the social setting. It means that they're not good in a social setting. They have no skills or competence in a social setting, so they've had to resort to being a reclusive worm in their home playing video games where they feel protected. And like I said, I'm an introvert. I'm like that, But by the end of this, I'd like to be able to handle myself in any social situation just fine. Not feel drained, but feel energized, all these different types of things. And so, going forward after this, now that I basically just explained to you my plan, the idea is, even today actually, after I'm done recording this video, I'm gonna get straight to it and work on this first quest. But before we end this, I do want to give you a couple more personal experiences and some stories that might rattle you a little bit and help you to give you value to this video. Because again, this was a two-part kind of video, me explaining wasting away your summer, or are you really going to waste another summer, and also my kind of introduction to how I'm not going to waste my summer. But more for you, are you really going to waste another summer? I had a buddy. Him and I, we're really close, and he's doing much better now. He's implemented a lot of different things, but a year ago, I believe it was, or whenever the newest Batman movie came out with Robert Pattinson, we went to go see it. I think this was around October or December. Doesn't matter. But we went to go see it, and it was so badass. It was such a fantastic movie. I love that movie. He was frothing over that movie for a while afterward. And he basically, after the movie, said like, "Oh, I really got to go work out now." And he's in college, and he's got he's got some excess fat, he's got some blubber, he's got some titties, you know, he doesn't care about any of that stuff. He eats 5 ramen cups a day, whatever. Like I said, he's doing a lot better now, but at the time, just was not in shape, not good. And I kind of think the movie woke him up a little bit. And so he's like, oh, I gotta start going to the gym, doing all this stuff. I'm like, dude, that's sweet, that's awesome, yeah, you do. And so a week later, 2 weeks later, I see him, because we like to play cards together. So I go to his house, I see him and whatnot, and something sparks the conversation back to him working out after we just saw Batman. And what was it? He got out like a Coke or something like that, like a full, like just original Coke and whatnot, like 90 grams of sugar or whatever BS it is. And you know, I'm not a pop drinker. I don't drink that, you know, estrogenic compound stuff. So, but I saw him. I'm like, hey, you know, we'll call him Joe. I'm like, hey Joe, didn't you say you wanted to get in shape? You say you're gonna start lifting heavy and going to the gym and carving your physique? And he's like, oh, nah, you know, whatever kind of mentality. Kind of like, oh, you know, like, doesn't matter anymore. Like just shook his head. And I came to realize, like, wow, I'm looking in a mirror right now, because I do the same thing to just about everything that I know is good for me. And here's the thing is, that movie completely acted, he got a dopamine spike out of it, but then after that was done, it just went right back down into the valley of despair, where he couldn't get out of it. And that validation was not his. His validation was wanting to be like Robert Pattinson, not wanting to be like ripped, jacked future Joe, who is charismatic, has a good character, has a sculpted physique, and has a wonderful, wonderful girlfriend or whatever. It was, I want to be the vibe of Robert Pattinson. But that's the thing. That's Robert Pattinson's validation. That's for him. That's what he earned. That's what the fantasy character Batman earned through all of his training. Joe didn't do that. So of course he can't be. And of course he hits the valley of despair, which is like, well, I'm never going to be that. And what's the point anyway? What's the point? And so I felt a little bit disappointed in him after that. I felt like I was excited for you. But I couldn't say anything because I've been the same way for a long time. And to judge somebody on like that it's hypocritical. And the interesting thing after that is, I was talking to another close friend of mine who is like a brother to me now, and we like to bounce ideas off of each other. You know, we're very, very improvement driven, and we're looking to grow in the world and constantly criticizing each other on what we can do better. And my good friend, he's like, no more coping, we just have to do it. And so I went home and I thought to myself, and I was explaining to my girlfriend, I was like, I realized that I've been I'm gonna do it guy. You know, we always say, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be a millionaire, I'm gonna be, you know, the provider, I'm gonna be the one who lifts the heavy weight, I'm gonna be all these guys, the famous dude. I'm gonna be. And I realized that at what point am I going to be the I did it guy? The guy who says, oh, I did it. He suffers in silence. He uses these 3 months that he's been given so that at the end of the 3 months, he can say to every single person, I did it. And he didn't at the start say, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and then at the end, he still says, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm criticizing myself here because I was one of those people. I still am. I'm still a person that goes up to people I admire and I say, I'm gonna do it. You know, if somebody comes home and I get excited about something, I say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. At what point will those people hear I did it from me? At what point will I tell myself I did it? And when that day comes with anything, you can fall on your knees and you can cry your eyes out, because if you're one of those I'm gonna do it people, you know that the one thing that you want is to be able to say, I did it. Or at least that's me. And so this is basically my testimony to sharing with you the journey forward to me no longer being a I'm gonna do it guy, and instead being a I did it guy. And at the end of this long 365-day journey that you're gonna see on this channel, I hope that you will be able to say to me, he did it. And I'll be able to say to you, I did it. And maybe you'll be able to say to me that you did it too. And that will fill my soul. So, nearing the end of the video, I hope you got value out of this. Use these summer months like I'm going to be using them. Use these beautiful days ahead. If you're in a bad situation, you've been given an opportunity. If you're in a good situation, you've been given an opportunity. We all have. So let's act on it. Let's not waste another summer. I'm not going to waste another summer. I don't want to. I'm tired of wasting my summers. I'm tired of wasting my time. But thank you all for watching, or thank you, kind viewer, for clicking on this video and hopefully getting a different perspective from me. This video will be out today, and I hope the next one will be out either today, or maybe I'll schedule it to upload tomorrow. If I do that, then unfortunately the dates won't line up, but it's fine. You'll know. It's not about the dates, it's about the days. But yeah, quest completed. Have a marvelous day.